muted and check.
Good evening and welcome to the City of Morro Bay's Recreation Parks Commission regular meeting. Today is Thursday, July 17th, and we're at the Veterans Hall, Memorial Hall as usual. We have a quorum, so we would like now to observe a moment of silence, please. Okay, thank you very much. Now, we shall do the Pledge of Allegiance. Who would like to lead the Pledge of Allegiance? Go ahead. The flag's right here.
Ready? Begin.
Okay.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Commissioner Costanza. Okay, now we'll move to announcements and presentations. Do any of my fellow commissioners have any announcements or presentations this evening? No?
Mr. Vice Chair, the staff has announcements, and I also want to recognize, yes, staff has some announcements. Thank you. I'll go ahead and start.
Okay.
As usual, we will report out to you the funding from our Community Foundation of Estero Bay for fiscal year 24-25. The Recreation Services Office received $30,301 from our friends at the Community Foundation. Pretty much on par or a little bit on par with last year, but a little bit less from years past. I think our highest was $40,000 at one time. We're not seeing as much scholarships with regard to our youth services programs due to funding from San Luis Coastal Unified. So they are helping fund many of the before and after school child care programs, and hence then the reduction in their support in general. With that, I'm going to pass this over to Angelica Jepson, our recreation supervisor, who's going to give a couple announcements of classes upcoming and then talk about our progress on our brochure.
Good evening, Commission. So just to kick off our summer 2025 community classes, they're going as we speak right now. As I left, the Zumba was rocking and rolling. But we have all of our classes just like usual. They're all drop-in at $6 to $10 rates. And we see a little lull in the summer because people are on vacation. But then fall comes along and they get ramped up, and then January comes around and they get very ramped up. So that's our class. I, again, invite you every time to come on out and do a dance or take a class. And then I'm going to give a quick update on our brochure. Recreation Services was assigned to start a recreation brochure. Our project is coming along. We're exploring different varieties of layouts and designs, different forms, whether we're going to use Adobe or maybe an easier one that we work with, which is Canva. This is something we use to make all of our flyers. Most likely we'll go with an 8.5 by 5.5 inch, which is compact. It's easy to distribute, and it's not a large wasted kind of space area. At this point, we're considering printing around 15,000 copies. We'd place them at various community areas like our community center, senior center, library, and any other high traffic areas around town. At this moment, we aren't looking at mailing them as the cost is really high for that. We also are doing research on different printers. We've looked at ASAP Ribographs, which is here locally, and then also some that we would ship out and have them do. So the quotes right now are looking at about a 28-page brochure that seems to align with the amount of context that we're expecting. An important detail to keep in mind when we do this is the number of pages must be in multiples of 4 due to the brochures and printing and bounding. So we are looking at like about a 24-page brochure is what we're thinking. The next step up would be a 32. So the quotes that we're looking at are also somewhere between 24 and 28. In terms of costs for printing, they're looking, an average right now is for 15,000 copies, where an average is 10,000 to 13,000, depending on printers, materials, and the form of printing, if we're gonna go with a glossy or paper quality, the ink quality, all of those. If we went down to a 10,000, it'd be about $6,000 to $10,000, so. Again, something we're looking at. And then content is still being discussed as you know, this is a busy time for recreation. So we are like at the tail end of our big programs and 2 largest events that we put on. And so now is kind of our time. As the fall starts, we can start thinking about all the content that we'll be putting in there and finalizing all of those details. So we're aiming to launch in 2026 is really what our aim is. It would kind of be impossible to launch in the next couple months, just collecting data and figuring out which price range we're gonna go in. So our goal is somewhere in 2026, I'd say before the summertime for sure, but of course, we always would love to go earlier, so.
Could I ask a question?
Sure.
Thank you for the time frame. Thanks for the cost and how the pages work. I think that's great. Would it cover half a year, a quarter of a year,
We would look at quarterly,
quarterly?
yeah. And if we don't, so it's back and forth. I'm quarterly or half year. So we could maybe combine summer and spring and fall and winter. Really, again, it depends on the contents and context and how much stuff we have to put in there.
Yeah, because it seems to me spring really gears up for summer. So it'd be nice if we could have it out, by the 1st of March, so you're ready for that quarter that begins in April?
Yeah, we would, if I got to say my goal, it would be probably like February, March of 2026, because that's when we open up all of our summer camp stuff, our junior guards, and all of our other summer programming, as well as preparing everyone for the big events like our 4th of July and our Rock to Pure Run. And by then, we should have like dates for Rock to Pure Run and those things. So yeah, if I got to make the decision, I think I would go with February, March.
Yeah, great. That's really exciting. And 15,000 copies means, well, we have 10,000 people, but that's not 10,000 households. So even if you went with the 6,000, that would cover all households, but maybe not visitors.
Right.
Or people in the larger community like Cayucas and Los Osos.
Yeah, the whole Estero Bay, because our programs do reach that whole location, those locations, I would want to be able to put some in Cayucas, Los Osos, possibly Cambria as well.
So maybe something around 10,000 copies.
Yeah.
And 10,000 copies would still fall between the $10,000 and $13,000 cost?
10 was 6 to 10, or 6,000 to 10,000.
So 10 copies depending on quality.
Yeah, 15 would be 10,000 to 13.
So could we ask for an update at our next meeting?
Sure.
In September?
Yeah, that would be great.
Cool. Any other questions? I don't know that you, are you done with this section?
Of the brochure.
Carmichael, or should we do public comment yet?
We're still moving along with staff announcements at this time.
Okay.
And I believe, Ms. Jepson, you wrapped up?
No, I have,
Nope.
really quick, I just want to share some fun things that came up. I have some pictures of the last 4 weeks of camp. We run an average of 90 campers a day, so it's definitely something I want to brag about. So this is, every week we are celebrating a color. So our very first week was Welcome Week with red. We did some fun stuff. We had a library visit. We had our luau. It's our every year. We have our Aloha luau for the summer, and then we had week 2, which was Orange Week, and that was to get moving, where we had Fitness Works come out and do some Zumba with the kids. We took a bike ride with the police department to Cloisters Park and had some bike safety lessons. And then we also did our full trips that we do every year. And then week 3 was Under the Sea. We went to Cloisters Beach, spent a great day out there, and then we also had a visit from the state parks. They'll come out 3 times this year and do some presentations about animals, and this time it was about ocean animals. And then week 4 is the Great Outdoors, and we did a lot of fun stuff. We had a reptile exposition, we had survivor boot camp, and then we went on our first excursion out to Avila Valley Barn and Pool, where we went on a hayride and fed the animals and then got to swim at the Avila Pool, which is a nice change for these kids because we swim every week at this pool, and it's great, and they do lessons, but it is cold. So it was nice to be out in Avila and get to have a little warmth out there. And we're in week 5 right now. We have 3 more weeks after that, so we're excited to continue this camp. And then just for families and anyone who's interested, our registration for Kids Club, which is our before and after school program during the school year, is open right now. We, again, are partnering with the San Luis Coastal School District to offer subsidized care programs for any families that qualify, and then we will also be partnering with them to support the transitional kindergartners going to full-time school day. So we're excited, we're geared up for that. I'm not sure if you've seen Del Mar Elementary, but they're kind of in construction right now. So that will be interesting. And there is talks of us getting a new classroom soon. So we are very excited about that. But that's it for me.
Thank you, and we're going to pass this on to Rec Supervisor Ken Zink for some announcements.
Okay, great. So it looks like first slide here is showing our aquatics programs for the summer. We have a lot of swim lessons going on over the summer. We also have Summer Experience, which is a partnership with the San Luis Coastal Unified School District. It's been great that this year, with the swim lessons, the foundation has agreed to pay for 100% of the swim lessons, thanks to our partnership with them. So extending the opportunity for swim lessons to a lot of families, and then lap swim and everything else. All good. We're also doing signups for the fall recreational soccer season. So have till the end of July to sign up for soccer. Looking forward to that. We're launching co-ed adult soccer, so we've extended the deadline for a week and a half more. So if you know any adults in the Estero Bay area, let them know that we'll be playing on Thursday evenings at Lila Kaiser Park. And this is a relaxed in nature program for adults to come out and get some touches on the ball. It's not meant to be ultra competitive in nature, so just small-sided games for adults to stay active and have a adult soccer community on the coast. Flag football rolls right along. We're over the halfway point in the season, so we have playoffs coming up, and it'll culminate in the championship at Morro Bay High School. We also have the cheer program, which I think I told you guys about last meeting. And so we have our coordinator, Jazzy, and Angelica here helping the program out. And it's just been a huge success by my estimation. We have a lot of people asking about it after the fact that missed out on the signups, and so I think that program is going to be continuing to grow in the next few seasons. Junior guards rolls right along as well. We're through the second session, and we're on session C of junior guards. They do a lot of fun stuff like go to Cayucas and jump off the pier. We have Harbor Ops, which Harbor has partnered with us to take our participants out on the boat, and a lot of fun educational opportunities on lifeguarding techniques and environmental education. Yeah, we got through the Rock to Pier run this year. So we had 1,088 total runners in the event, and that's 266 in the half marathon. Not that I know the exact number or anything. We grossed over $78,000, and so it's a great way that we can help offset some of the other costs from some of the other programs, and have a program that brings in a little money for the rec services. We had fire helping out this year on their UTV, so that was great. We actually ended up having a runner that was having some trouble getting through the end of the half marathon, and so they were able to get right out to her and transport her back to her car after she realized that she was going to be okay to drive home. So the event went out without any huge incidents, and everybody was kept safe by our lifeguards that were at each water station. We had the band Treble Ahead playing for the Kiwanis post-event breakfast. And it was another great year of Rock to Pier. Big announcement, our rec team won the kickball championships. So thank you. I didn't play, they all did, but so it was a great kickball season. They had a potluck to celebrate the end of the season playoff night. And we're looking forward to bringing it back for the fall. That's all I got.
Thank you, Mr. Zink. I think we're all set. Back to you. Now, are we switching roles? Let's see. Commissioner Winholtz, are you taking the chair lead?
I believe I am.
Okay. All right. Back to you, Madam Chair.
So we just finished announcements and presentations. Number 4, so we're ready for number 5, the Morro Bay Seniors Liaison Report, which would be from Mr. Commissioner Sedaris.
Yeah. So I've been out of pocket the last couple of months, but I did tell them if they had any concerns, they could contact me, and they didn't contact me. So I imagine all they really want still is the pickleball. Outside of that, they're doing good with their bingo and all the wonderful fun things they have. And like I often say, please look at the city website to see what's going on in the city, the Rec Services website to look what's going on there, and Morro Bay Seniors to see what they're up to, because there's just something for everybody all the time. And now it's summer, so it's going to be busy. Thank you.
If I could piggyback on that real quick and add one more little tidbit, we did host a fundraiser for the Altadena Senior Center that was completely burned down in the fires in that area. We hosted a fundraiser. It was a night at Greenwich Village. We had Ray Riordan and a handful of his fellow musicians offer up some great tunes from the 60s, some wine and beer and coffee and snacks and whatnot, and we raised just a bit over $6,000 for that community center. We're going to have one of their representatives come out to visit us here in Morro Bay and present the check to them, and we bought one of those large checks that we can hold up for photo ops. And anyways, I did want to mention that as well. It was a real fun event. We had over 100 people turn out and, again, raised over $6,000.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, and then one item that I neglected to put on our agenda is the update from our Waterfront Master Plan Committee. And Mr. Costanza, if you have something to report on that, it'd be fantastic.
Yeah, I do. The meetings have gone very well. We're just getting kind of settled in the parameters and what the, what our purview is, and we're going to tour the sites to see, and it's moving along very well. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We'll include that on our next agenda. Thank you.
And if I might, I would just add that you're doing a tour at your next meeting, and the public is invited. Yeah.
Sorry, I forgot to mention that. Yeah, we are. They're still setting that up, though. So
Yeah,
that
so
works. It's not
to be announced.
to be announced.
But we basically think it's August 10th, which is the second Thursday at 3 o'clock, perhaps.
Perhaps. More to come. I'm sure it's going to be on the website.
Yeah.
For further information.
Great. Okay, then we're ready to move on to public comment. Anyone?
Fay here, City Councilman. One question on the brochure. Are you soliciting ad space for that? I think that I can probably myself personally raise about $2,000 for 2 ads. So I just wanted to hope that you are going to be doing that. I think a lot of the Friends of the Morro Bay Harbor Department, myself personally, and a lot of other organizations probably would be able to help with that brochure, and that could offset the cost. So that was one question that I do have.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'd be happy to go ahead and respond to that now.
Sure.
We are in preliminary stages of research, so there's been nothing formalized yet with regard to a budget for this project, nor content. And that topic of advertisement is on our, top of our list to discuss. Do we want ads in the brochure or not? So I appreciate your assistance, Mr. Lefebvre, because I know you're great at fundraising. So as we move forward and move along, I will be in conversation with a new city manager and to see how we want to move forward and then also to seek that funding. So
Thank
that
you.
answered. Thank you.
Anyone else for items not on the agenda?
Good evening, Morro Bay Commissioners. Michelle Lester Catteray, North Morro Bay. About 5 years ago, I brought it to the attention of the Parks and Rec Department about possibly looking into adding adult exercise or kinetic exercise equipment to one of our parks. I can appreciate that everybody wants to play pickleball and everything else, but there are those members of the community that aren't quite that agile. I think it would be a great add-on to our community, especially possibly at the Cloisters, where a lot of elderly or those that are physically challenged tend to use that park. It's more ADA accessible. And adding some of the kinetic outdoor equipment. I've noticed it a lot down in Southern California, in San Luis Obispo, they have it in their parks. I think when I've looked at a full set of possibly, 8 equipment items, it ranges about $35,000. Something that we could possibly look at fundraising for, or doing piecemealing it as we go along and maybe putting a couple of pieces up at Del Mar, a couple of pieces down in at the Cloisters, and maybe over by the small park, the pocket park off of Kern. No, is it Kern or Piney Way?
Shasta.
Shasta, okay. So anyway, something to bring up, because I know that we're pushing the pickleball situation, of which that too, my daughter's had a couple of issues playing basketball at Del Mar, and the pickleballers are a bit aggressive about them, being able to be on the courts. They're kind of getting pushed out, and my daughter is not one to stand back and say, oh, okay, she'll state, this is a basketball court. This is what it's for, and it's for the kids. So possibly remind the pickleballers that they are adults, and the kids do come first. It's appreciated if they try to work together. So anyway, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Margaret Carmen, and I can't stay. I don't know whether technically this is on the thing or not, but I just want to say it was exciting because I went and I walked all around, because I've been coming to meetings, right? So I wanted to know about the parks. So I did my first tour of Del Mar Park, and I never even knew how to get to Lila Kaiser, whatever it is. And so I just want to say we have really lovely, lovely parks in Morro Bay. And I mean, just the views just open your heart. And I consider our town a very high-end destination point, and lots of visitors come here and go to the parks, and our locals certainly go out and use them. And so I want that to be first. I'm not just up here complaining, but I want to come from what deeply concerns me was the condition of some of the play equipment and the benches. And I'm bringing this up because I'm a doctor, and I know a lot of people are on blood thinners. And there are actually benches in the Cloisters. They're not just missing paint. I mean, they're missing paint and they're deteriorating, and you could pull back the pieces of wood on the corner. Now, one person on blood thinner sits down with shorts on. They've cut their skin. There's blood everywhere. And we don't want we don't want anybody to get hurt, and we don't want the city to get a lawsuit. And so we need some love and care to those benches. And there's playground equipment that you know, when you go up the steps, that stuff that's supposed to keep you from falling, it's rolled. Well, here's this little kid trying to grab things, and they don't know they're not supposed to grab that thing that can cut their hands. And so I don't know how often they get repaired and who does that, but they really do need our help. And I don't know if this is still happening, but I walked back from getting my tires, and it's so fun to walk around Morro Bay. But they were watering in the city park, and the water was just going on the sidewalk and down the sidewalk, and I had to walk in the street because I didn't want to walk in the water, and I want to save water. So thank you. I hope I didn't go over, but the timer wasn't on.
No problem. Anyone else for public comment? All right, then we'll declare it closed. Any responses to the benches, the play equipment we know we've been addressing? I don't know if we have a time frame. I see Mr. Kwolek in the audience, if he has something for us.
I'd be happy to start off. To begin, excuse me, it's an awkward relationship as we have discussed for many years now. We are the Recreation and Parks Commission. My office is Recreation Services. So this commission will discuss parks. However, my office doesn't do parks. So it's a little funky, so I'm going to answer a couple of questions. We haven't been Recreation and Parks for 10 years now. To speak about the workout stations in the parks, we had Elaine Lelaine present to us, gosh, 8 years ago, I think, 7 or 8 years ago, discussing something very similar and wanting to do something along the Harbor Walk. And we have discussed workout stations in parks and shared that information with our Public Works office a number of years ago. With regards to pickleball and basketball, the pickleball courts and the basketball court are under a memo of understanding with our Morro Bay Senior Center. They operate those facilities Monday through Saturday from 9 to 12. Beyond that, it's basketball is open and available to those who show up. It's supposed to be. Yeah. So that's with regards to the basketball and pickleball courts. Unfortunately, we're right next door to the high school, or excuse me, the God, what is it, Del Mar Elementary, that has a number of extra courts too if they get overflowed. With regards to the maintenance of the parks, the watering, and the condition of the play equipment, I don't have responses for that. I will go ahead and defer to Mr. Kwolek.
Thank you so much, Mr. Carmichael, for that explanation. So for maintenance issues, I would just encourage anyone, I'll keep it simple, I encourage everyone and anyone that if you see a maintenance issue, put it in the app or go home when you get to your computer, go to the city website, put it in as a service request, and it gets handled. And if it doesn't get handled, then you can call me. But we've gotten on a good track with that service request system. As people, members of the community, put in requests, hey, there's a bench, there's a deck broken on it or something, no problem. We'll come out. We don't always see that. We're busy doing our work. And so the community is our eyes and ears for those kinds of maintenance issues. I would just maybe have a little bit of a different take than Mr. Carmichael on, I think this commission does have a role with the parks. I think discussion about, what is appropriate recreational equipment at a park is really the purview of this commission. I'm really not qualified to talk about what the recreational needs of the city are. That should come from the Recreation Division as well as from this commission. But I agree with Mr. Carmichael that any other kind of issues related to parks, maintenance, or capital improvements certainly are within the purview of the Public Works Department. As for adult equipment, that is something we are looking at including in the Coleman Park plan, but I could talk about that during that item.
Thank you. Could I ask you a question? Sure. Could you update us on the play equipment that you had us choose several months ago?
That was part of my update.
Oh, that's going to be your update? Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. That's all we had.
Okay,
for
thank
response.
you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much. Okay, so we're going to move to the consent agenda. Oh, before I forgot to ask, is there anyone on the Zoom AGP for public comment?
No, Chair Winsome, there are no raised hands.
Okay, thank you. I'll try to be more diligent about that. Okay, now we're ready for consent. This is the approval of the minutes. It's also Recreational Service Division Status Report and Recreational Services Division Participation Reports. I don't know that staff has any input other than what we've seen. This is just consent. I don't know if there's any questions by any commissioners. Is there any public comment regarding consent agenda items? And once again, AGP, anybody on the Zoom?
There are no raised hands.
Thank you. So I would entertain a motion to approve our consent agenda.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we approve and accept the motion.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Thank you. All in favor, we'll do a voice vote. Say aye.
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 Thank you. No nays? Okay, we'll move on to our business items, which is an update on our parks project. Would this be you, Mr. Pollack?
Yes, thank you, Chair and members of the Rec and Parks Commission. So 2 updates, one on Coleman and one on the playground equipment. Coleman, you may have seen that we had an RFP out for design services, and that RFP did close. We hope to bring a contract to the City Council on August 12th at their regular meeting on that date so that we can get moving. In talking with the project manager there, we think we can have 30% design plans prepared for this commission's November meeting. And so that would be your chance to review it and provide feedback. After that meeting, we're going to go back to the grantor, which is state, and request that some amenities be de-scoped from the original plan, just because they're too expensive at this point to do. And so we'll be seeking this commission's input on that. But more to come. That November meeting is still a few months away. Our next step is getting the contract approved by the City Council. And on the playground equipment, so I know Mr. Mendoza, the Maintenance Division Manager from the Public Works Department, did come to this body and hear suggestions and feedback about what sorts of playground equipment we should get. We did go out to for procurement for that, and it came like 200% of the budget. So that was just not feasible. And so we're taking another look at it, and I would appreciate some feedback on that. We would like to move forward with Lila Kaiser and just essentially replacing the equipment that's there with new, fresh equipment, modern equipment, no major changes, ensuring everything is ADA to ADA standard, and spending the money that way. And we would like to complete if you can think of City Park, the fence runs the walkway, but kind of ends there. We would like to complete that fence and also make an ADA ramp down. Right now, that's not ADA. If you're in a wheelchair, it just sort of curb and then down. We won't be able to afford the playground equipment or the installation of playground equipment there. I've also heard a lot of feedback that is not a good location for playground equipment. I don't completely agree as a father of a toddler, but nevertheless, I've heard that feedback a lot, and there is a thought that maybe we reimagine that space. And again, even though it's a park, totally under the purview of this commission, a couple ideas that have come up is, one, potentially a dog park. We don't have a dog park on this side of town, and that might be a neat place to have one, and it's small enough maybe for small dogs. And another would be a community garden. Again, probably enough space to have something like that there. Would also entertain other suggestions. I'm at the point where I believe we just need to take out the equipment because it's in such poor condition and there is no maintaining it at this point. It is just, it's done. And so we're going to have a kind of an empty, mulched, fenced-in area. And unless we do something with that, it'll be kind of weird, right? Especially since it's in the middle of town. So I'm curious what you all think about potentially converting that to a dog park or a community garden or some other amenity there for the public.
Are there any questions?
Is this fence you're talking about going to encircle the entire park?
Not the park, just that playground area.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
There will be an opening, of course.
Of course.
But, yeah.
You get there by catapult.
I would like for us to maybe agendize the use of that area.
Sure.
Advise that to the public and see if they might like the site.
Sure.
Are there any other questions?
Yeah, so that fenced-in area, that's not very big. That's not, I don't know if that would be a dog park thing for that amount of space that's there. I'm sure we can figure out something for that other than, I know the concerns, and I had the same concerns with that park and that equipment being there. I don't know if I'd let my child play that location right there, but
So maybe we'll address that?
yeah.
Sorry, maybe we can address that at our September meeting?
Well, I was just wondering on, do you know
Yeah.
like the square footage of that?
I don't have that off
It's
the top of my head. It's certainly big enough for a small dog park, or, you know, you
For a
wouldn't
small
want to
dog.
bring your Rottweiler there, but I've, you know, lived in different parts of the country, and I've seen smaller dog parks, and I've taken my dog to them. It just,
Yeah, no, it's like,
yeah, it depends.
that's a feasible.
Yeah.
I was just curious on that. Thank you.
Sure.
I know there have been concerns about the equipment itself being a problem for children.
Yes.
And then on top of it, maybe not the most desirable location for children. But it sounds like a good area for dogs, for people in that kind of central location. And I hadn't even thought about a garden. Not a bad idea either. So
And
I appreciate getting to think about this a little bit.
yeah, and it's a great idea to have it agendized at a future meeting. I think something we'd want to think about is there's sort of a pink elephant in the room about certain activities at that park, and, you know, there's two schools of thought on that. One is you kind of retreat, and the other is you advance. And so certainly in a park that can be activated. I don't know that that park is really activated right now. It's sort of a, you know, you kind of don't want to walk through it depending on the time of day. So, you know, maybe we can have Chief Watkins as part of that conversation as well, if the commission desires, just to kind of have a holistic view what that visioning is. And of course, input from the Recreation Division on kind of what the recreational needs are in the city.
Fazio, Commissioner Fazio, do you have any comment or question?
None for me. That sounds great.
Okay. So in terms of City Park, then, we'll agendize that. In terms of Coleman, that's coming back to us anyways. In terms of Lila Kaiser, I say full steam ahead, certainly. It's just really unsafe equipment. Regarding the equipment at the other parks like Cloisters and Del Mar, can some of that just be sanded and painted?
Depends on the park, and something I learned about this whole process is the equipment itself is very expensive. And so to replace a component here or there, it could be in the thousands of dollars, even though it's just a piece of plastic. It's proprietary, and so in some cases, yes. In some cases, our maintenance crew has fixed the equipment. Cloisters is a good example. We have that kind of bridge, which my toddler loves running on, and it broke because there were some folks there, older kids, jumping on it. And so, yeah, I mean, in some cases we can. You know, could we go out and do the entire system? Probably not. That would be a large project, and given everything else we have going, such as this project in here right now, maybe down the road, but I don't see that happening in the short term with the workload we have.
Would it help if, because we have talked for months about taking a tour, if we maybe help do an inventory and say, you know, we think here's Cloisters and here's Del Mar in terms of priority, and just offer you some feedback in terms of where we see the greatest need, or do you already have that inventory?
I think that would be very welcome, because we struggle with this. You know, Tideland's functional, looks a little rough. Cloisters, very functional, also looks rough. Del Mar is like our flagship right now. Even that could use a spruce up. Monty Young, I mean, we have a lot of playgrounds. We have a lot of playgrounds, and we have a lot of deferred maintenance on those playgrounds. So we're in a position now where we need to play catch up, and given the city's finances, we can't do it all at once. So yes, we would like to know, okay, well, let's suppose we decide to do something else with City Park, whatever that is, and then we rehab or not rehab, but we replace the playground system at Lila Kaiser. What's next? Because then we would know what to go to council with. I mean, each park is going to have a different cost and different considerations. So yes, that would be very welcome.
And it's still the city's policy that you don't want volunteers doing that work,
Which work?
the repair work. Like if we see something that just needs sanding, a new paint job, that can't be done by the public? Like if we got a group of Kiwanis together, they couldn't do that, or they could?
It's a good question. If we did it, if they came to us and sat down and talked through what they wanted to do, I think there's a potential for it. In my experience, these things sometimes go well and oftentimes don't go well for a variety of reasons. Managing volunteers becomes then its own task. And even though volunteers are handling it, we are still very involved. That takes us away from our other work. Volunteers don't necessarily have the same level. It's going to sound negative, but it's not. It's just a fact. I mean, volunteers by their nature don't have the same level of commitment that city staff does. You know, we're tied to our jobs, right? So we have to get a job done. Where a volunteer could take a vacation to Alaska for 3 months during a critical point in a project and then leave staff stuck with a lot of tasks that they weren't anticipating. So there's just a lot of considerations there. There are situations where it can work, and if there was a community group out there who had an idea of how they wanted to contribute, they should certainly approach us.
Okay.
I have a follow-up question on that. It sounded like what you were describing with volunteers would maybe be more of an ongoing maintenance program or something like that. Would a single event or cleanup day, multiple hours within a single day, maybe with some training, is that something potentially more feasible for volunteers to be able to help?
Absolutely. I think that's a bit different from what we're talking about here, but absolutely that I would think of like a beach cleanup or something like that, or some very, very light maintenance. But, repairing and constructing and that kind of thing. We do have a lot of smart, intelligent people here in the community who can do that work. I don't question that at all. Getting them all together and agreeing on what we're doing and how we're doing it and when we're doing it becomes a challenge. And then that becomes kind of a broader project that we take on.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you for the question. Anybody else?
I was just wondering, there's no taking two broken sets of playground equipment, combining it, making one decent, because they're probably from different manufacturers and we didn't install them anyway, right?
Generally, I would say, yes, you're correct.
Okay. But maybe going forward, if we do order a set of playground equipment, we could order spare parts of the variety that wear out the quickest so that we have something to fix it with.
Two answers to that. The parts are very expensive.
Yes.
I don't think it would be feasible to purchase kind of like a parts set or something. The other thing is, just like with anything, things go out of style, and even if they look clean, they look outdated. And that's especially true with playgrounds. We've been in discussions with a playground manufacturer. We talked about like, we want a fish or something as part of the design. That's a great idea, right? But what they told us, and I completely agree, is that, well, what a fish looked like in 1995 and how it would be portrayed on a playground would be different from 2005 and 2015 and 2025. That fish is going to look old. And so I say that because we could keep sort of repairing our playgrounds piecemeal over time, and it will keep them safe, that's true, and functional, but they're also going to be outdated. One of my observations as a father of a toddler is that you get invited to go hang out with other parents' kids, and the meetup place is always a playground. So I've been to Atascadero, Pismo, SLO, Morro Bay, Osos, and so you see even though someone may live in Morro Bay and is raising a child in Morro Bay, they're likely going to playgrounds across the county. And I can tell you, not in every case, but we are far behind in what our playgrounds look like and how they feel. So there's one part of it where they're kind of, in some cases, the maintenance is so far gone that you almost don't want a kid to go on it. But then in another instance, they're also just totally outdated. It's just like a totally different experience.
Okay, so I guess
And
over.
we're going to change that with
Yeah.
this new equipment.
All right, so we'll just do it one at a time as budget permits over, yeah, we'll get it done. It's going to take some time, right?
Yes, and back to Chair Winholz's question is like, well, what is the priority after these two parks? You know, everyone's going to have a different opinion that this body would be the perfect body to look at that.
Yeah, and of course, we'd love input from the public. Because, well, yeah, we'd want to rehab the most utilized parks first, obviously. We're here to serve everybody. Okay, thank you.
So I guess my biggest concern to start with is, of course, we have beautiful parks and desirable. We're in such a great location. We want to take advantage of all this, but also living in this climate. I think the weather itself, I mean, as beautiful as it is, hard on homes, equipment. And so I am most concerned about safety for our kids. We want to keep it as safe as possible. And in the walk around, I was able to accomplish with some interested people, we could find a lot of problems of, that could be real safety concerns. And you're talking about your little 3-year-old, maybe you've seen some of those. But that's a biggie to me. Mm-hmm. Keep them safe. And I have a nice report here of items of concern. So maybe, with that invitation, I'll be doing some of that a little more, formal, so you have it. And there was one question at Lila Kaiser Park. There's a lot of property, Flippo's area, behind Flippo's and between that and the park itself, that look like a lot of property. We keep trying to find something for our pickleball folk. Is that property that is available? It's a great area. It's a great expanse there. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I do. 'Cause, like the area between the Lila Kaiser parking lot and Flippo's behind it.
Well, it's actually abuts against Flippo area and then to the...
Yeah, there's like a
To the hotels.
vacant lot there.
Yeah, I believe that's
it's a
privately
lot.
owned.
It's a pretty good-sized lot. Vacant, nothing.
I do believe it's privately owned as well.
Yeah, because I believe we looked at it before for the BMX track.
Portions of it are owned by Motel 6.
Yeah, that's what I understood.
But wouldn't that, if you think about where that is, parking's there. Just looks like a good spot. It's not used.
I'll share that I think there's been a call to have additional pickleball courts, as you well know, at Del Mar Park. Mm-hmm. And I don't think anyone in the city believes it's a bad idea. There's certainly space, and the question is how to pay for it. And that is the stall there.
A thought. There's also some property at Del Mar that I don't know where it's towards the highway. That's
The old Texaco property.
Mm-hmm.
That's empty, vacant, not in use.
It is
It
privately owned.
seems like we run into trouble trying to provide good basketball. I thought maybe the amphitheater area for basketball, but seems like that's not adequate area for it.
Yeah, that would probably take some regrading, some significant regrading there, doable. I don't know enough about that space, because I've heard it was an old amphitheater. I've also heard it was just a sort of a drain, so I don't know. Other people probably have more background on it than I do. I've never seen it used as an amphitheater. My kid loves running on it, I can tell you that.
Well, you have my thoughts.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My last comment would be, I've noticed down at Tidelands and up at City Park that if we're watering, it's not broad enough, and there's a lot of yellow spots coming up on the grass. Is that intentional, or what's going on with the watering?
I don't believe that's intentional. I mean, a lot of that is due to dogs, but I can have a look at where the sprinklers are hitting and where the yellow areas are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can tell where the sprinkler head is, and there's that, but it doesn't seem to bridge. And I'm wondering if that's as a result of July 4th down at Tidelands, and I assume we water after a big event to get the grass to come back. Maybe we don't. So I was just concerned about the watering.
I can have my team look into it.
Okay.
I just have one question on those funds that were allocated for the replacement of the play structures. Do we still have that? Is that still available? Well, I don't know. I can't remember if those were grants or it was a partial grant and some of it was city money that was allocated for that.
It's a good question. Yeah, they are still available. It was ARPA funds, and then we came up on an ARPA deadline, so the city switched the money, so now it's general fund. So it was held initially as a grant, but now it's not a grant. But we used the grant to fund general fund activities, so it's sort of a trade.
Good, thank you.
Yep.
I got confused by your question. So you're saying the play equipment, so I'm confused. So you said that we don't have enough money to fund all three of the play equipment that you brought to us earlier, that it was twice the cost. Is that the question you're responding to him about?
No.
Okay, thank you. That's different.
Yes.
No, I was just, my question was, are the funds still available to replace some of those equipment, the play equipment?
It was a question about funding source,
Yes.
because you had heard it was a grant, it had been grant
Yes,
funded.
and I was, my question
Yes.
was leading up to, do we still have adequate funds to replace some of that equipment still? I know the cost had gone up because I think there was 3 different play structures that we looked at. So I understand how the costs have gone up, but is that money still available to do that one in Lila Kaiser, which I think is a good idea. That's a well-used park.
Yes, we still have $250,000.
Yeah, thank you.
And do you know how much you're going to use at Lila Kaiser?
Probably between 150 and 200,000.
So a majority of it or 2/3 of it, perhaps?
Yes.
Half to 2/3?
Yes.
And then there's a balance that's left over.
There is, and part of that work is if we have a contractor come out here and install it, we also ask them to do that fence work I discussed earlier at City Park. So we wouldn't be doing the play structure there, but preparing that site for whatever it is going to be, especially the ADA portion of it.
Any questions from the audience? Thank you, Mr. Kwolek. Public in the audience, none. Any comments on the Zoom, please?
There are no raised hands in the queue.
Thank you. Then our updates on park projects are complete. We need a discussion on pickleball.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and we will move on with the discussion of pickleball. We've got Marcus Desplantis. Did I pronounce that correctly?
You did really well, thank you.
Thank you very much. He's going to share some design work with us here. If we only had an overhead.
Oh, well, I'm going to do a little bit better than that. First of all, Madam Chair, members, thank you for having me. My name is Marcus Desplantis. I'm an architect and an avid pickleball player. And I've got 2 things I was trying to do tonight. It's my understanding that there was at least a wanted explanation of how the courts are run. And I'll be glad to give that information to you. But also, I've been working with the group, the members over there, and have come up with a design that has been back and forth with the group there, and I think that we're close to something that can be realized. And I'm sorry I didn't know that I could give this to you electronically so we could have it presented here, but I do have copies of it for each and every one of you, so. So the first thing I'd like to talk about is how the courts are run. I don't believe, I know pretty much everybody who plays over there at Del Mar, and I don't think I've seen any of your faces there. But just to give you an idea, well, first of all, they are well attended. Especially during the summer right now, and especially with the heat in the North County, in San Luis Obispo, and the Valley and stuff. We're getting a lot of people outside of our area coming in and participating, and that's really welcome for lots of reasons, obviously. So it gets really busy there, especially from anywhere from people over there at 7:30 in the morning, and we typically open the gates at 7:30, 8 o'clock, and up until noon, there's what we call we have a paddle system that allows people to come on and off the court, and that's how it's used. So first of all, there's 4 courts there right now, and from one side to the other, we have a novice court, then we have an intermediate court, then we have an advanced intermediate, and then an advanced court. So the courts are, just for those of you who haven't been there, when someone walks on, especially from not from around here, they know which court to they understand their own abilities, and they say, okay, well, yeah, I kind of belong on that court, and that makes it's a really good tell for them, and it helps them negotiate the courts. I played Del Mar most of the time, but I play everywhere from Santa Barbara to Cambria all week long. And our system of play has been one of the better recognized systems of play, because you'll walk on other places to play, and you don't know where to go. And the worst thing that could happen is you have a novice player walk on an advanced court, and it's not good for the advanced players, and especially not good for the novice player. Although it's amazing if a novice player walks on and all they have to do is say, "Hi, I'm Marcus, and I'm a newbie here, and I don't know how to play. Could you help me?" 90% of the time, that group of players will more than happy to help that person along. So anyway, I just want to tell you, it's a very social game, and that's one of the huge benefits of why it's growing so fast. It's, first of all, it's not that expensive to play. Paddles range anywhere from $50 to $300. That's an expensive one. But you think, well, oh, that's not that expensive when you think about going and playing golf at $75 to $100 for a round, and then you got cart fees, and of course you got the 10th hole drinking martinis, and then pretty soon you got $300 worth you spent. So long and short of it is, it's not an expensive sport to play. So it allows everybody from 5-year-olds to 90-year-olds to be out there and to be accommodated. So that's the first thing. The courts are separated by ability to play from typically about 8 till noon. After that, the courts are open typically for like an hour. If I have a foursome, that I can go onto a court and I can use that court for an hour. If someone wants to join us, we could allow them to join the group of 4, or we could say, no, there are other courts available, go ahead and try to use one of those. So it's, we call it an open paddle system in the mornings. In the afternoon, groups can come on by themselves and hold the court. That's the first thing. The second thing is the way, if I was to walk onto the court and there's 4 people playing, we have what we call a paddle-up system, and all it is a board on the side of the wall that holds 6 paddles. And I can put my paddle up, and that designates to those people that are the 4 people on the court saying, oh, there's a person that wants to join us. At the end of their game, typically one of the losers would leave, and then that person would come on. If there's 2 paddles up, then the 2 losers would leave, and then new group would come on. If there's 4 paddles up on that, it holds 6. If there's 4 paddles, then the entire group leaves and the new group comes on. So that's a good way to keep things moving. A typical pickleball game is about 15 minutes long. So, you know, there is sometimes when it's really busy, you might have to wait a game or 2 to get on. But that one of the better benefits of pickleball is that that's the socialization thing. We have all kinds of people standing around trying to get on the court, but guess what they're doing? They're doing this. And it's a wonderful community atmosphere. And so we have people come over there, they're not even playing, and they're just sitting down the course and they're just chatting it up with everybody else. It's just a wonderful community. So that's kind of how the court runs. It's a $1 donation, which I believe still should be raised. It allows supposedly for maintenance of the courts. We've used it to resurface the courts when it's needed. It's actually due for one very soon. I think the last one was in maybe February, early this year is when it was done. And it holds up pretty well. There's a lot of people using it, but the fact is that it was originally designed for something else. It was a outdoor hockey rink originally, if you remember the round walls and stuff, you know. Yeah. But and we've turned it into a really wonderful place. But unfortunately, there's concrete expansion joints through the thing that the ground moves and concrete moves, and then it cracks, and then we have issues. So now there is a maintenance aspect to it, and probably every 6-7 months or so, we're going to have to get them serviced. That's just the nature of that space. So, anyway, I think if you have any questions with regards to how the court is run, I'll answer questions for that. Now, I'd like to introduce the drawing now. What you're looking at here is obviously a bird's eye view of the space over the top of the existing basketball and pickleball courts and the tennis courts. Now, reading from left to right on your drawing there, you've got the existing tennis courts. Okay, they're there, and then to the right, the first group of pickleball courts that are existing there now, and they've been resurfaced back, I said, in the first part of this year. I think they're still in decent condition, but we're always trying to keep them clean and all that. Speaking of maintenance, I'm one of about 5 people that have been cleaning those courts for the last 3 or 4 years. And I don't know how I got roped into that, but I do. But I think it's kind of my obligation for as much time I spend over there. And it's a labor-intensive thing, but it also is a volunteer effort. So we just do it, and in order to make it as nice and appear as a wonderful space for all of us to play. Okay, so moving on the drawing now. The next group of courts in the light green color there, those are the proposed new courts. And if they are in the space of the existing basketball court. And if you can look really close, I mean, when we made this presentation, this illustration, we made those courts almost kind of transparent, in as much if you look really close, you can see the basketball court underneath it. Can you see that? So you can see that what we're doing is the basketball court as it is right now is not as big as it needs to be to handle 4 courts. So this proposal shows that we're gonna have to expand that basketball concrete in order to accommodate these 4 courts. The one thing nice about these 4 courts, the new ones, is that they're turned 90 degrees to the existing courts. And if, for those who play tennis, those summer or winter afternoons, when you're on our existing courts right now and you're looking into the western sun and that sun is sitting right over the ocean, you don't see. And it can get dangerous sometimes. It gets nasty out there. It's hard. It's a beautiful thing to see, be able to see the ocean when you're playing pickleball, but I'll tell you, it's really hard on the eyes when the ball's coming at you, and it's, I'll just say it's hard. So these new courts are turned 90 degrees. This is the traditional way that tennis courts are actually set up, in the north-south orientation instead of an east-west. So this allows for, let's say these courts were built, so now you're in the winter months and you don't want to fight that summer sun that's sitting in the afternoon. Now you can play on those courts right there, and those courts would be, the sun wouldn't be bothering you. So anyway, so the orientation is perfect. Now how it works is that there's a walkway that runs down between the 2 sets of 2 that ends up at the existing gate that goes right into the pickleball courts. So we've been able to utilize that. I'm proposing here that all 4 of those courts are all fenced, which if you play is a very positive thing, because I've been to many courts that are laid out like our existing courts, the 4 courts side by side, and they don't have those intermediate fences between. So what happens is that you're playing a game, the ball goes cattywampus off your court, and it just and in the essence, or in trying to be safe, as soon as the ball goes into the adjacent court, everybody yells ball on, because you don't want someone who's playing all of a sudden to step back and step on a ball and break their ankle or fall down and hurt themselves. So I've been to places where there's no fences anywhere, and one ball can ruin 3 games all the way across the ball, run across four courts, and ruin every single game because everybody stops. These courts are all going to be individually fenced. Our existing courts are individually fenced. It's a wonderful layout right now, and I'll tell you, it's something that is beyond most of our adjacent courts. As a part of these 4 courts, I'm also thinking about a storage shed. We have a storage box on the court, as well as two storage boxes. We have equipment in there. We have blowers. We have paddles in there. We have what we used to have an AED until it was apparently stolen. Oh, we got a new one. That's good. I'll say we have all the amenities to try to keep the courts moving and in its best condition. We'd like to be able to put them in a storage shed, but as a part of that, we'd like to make it a little bit larger and make it like a snack shop where people can come. We might be able to sell cold drinks there, or water, or Band-Aids, first aid equipment. Those kind of things could be part of it. Also, if with 8 courts, now we could hold tournaments there, and that could be an opportunity to raise money for the city, for the members there. It's just an opportunity to fundraise. As well as a part of that, I was thinking about shaded seating. And you can see up in the little exhibits up at the top left, this is an idea, is that you can get those shade structures. It provides color, provides shade, and a place for people to wait and watch to get on the courts. So the second small exhibit in the middle there is just an image showing kind of the court layout of 4 courts, how that might look. Although this particular picture does not show an intermediate fence between the 2 courts, that was something that I would not be able to, that I don't think this picture illustrates properly. Okay, and then The other thing is we have a drinking fountain. We don't have a drinking fountain there. We could add one there. That would be a really plus. I know we have water there because I clean the courts every 2 or 3 weeks. I know we use that. And also a really good information kiosk. And I could think that could be used not only for the dog park, but for the basketball court, for the pickleball court, for everybody who uses the park. We could use that as a centralized kiosk for everybody that walks their dogs. In fact, that's how I learned about pickleball. I didn't know anything about pickleball. I was going to the dog park, and I'm walking down along, and well, who are these guys hitting this stupid little ball around? I go, this looks, and I have a table tennis background. I go, might be an opportunity. I could do something like that. And it's worked out that, yeah, now I'm addicted to this game.
Okay. Well, not to cut you short, I think the entire commission wants us to have more pickleball courts.
I know.
What we got to do is put the horse in front of the cart.
I understand.
What's it take? First off, the city council's got to say, agree.
Yes, right.
And then we got to figure out the money, and then you got to figure out the steps of the permitting and the construction costs and the timeline. So we're all for it. It's just a matter of.
I'd like to jump on. I totally understand where you're going from. The last thing I want to do, though, is talk about the basketball location.
Okay.
And that is as you can see, again, in that transparency of the image, you can see the amphitheater right underneath it.
Right.
Okay. And I first looked at that. I've measured all the courts around here. I measured the basketball court. And instead of, if you think about it three-dimensionally, the amphitheater's a bowl. So you say, well, we can go one or two ways. We can either carve out the bowl in order to make it wide enough for a basketball court, or we can start filling the bowl, and it gets shallower and shallower, and pretty soon you've got a width of a basketball court. And what I'm visualizing, as in the last image there, the new basketball court image there, that was an overlay right over the top of the basketball court, amphitheater space, is that we put a small retaining wall, maybe a couple of feet high, that will allow people to sit and watch the basketball court. And it's a relatively inexpensive way to build the basketball court. Instead of creating these huge, giant retaining walls that are super expensive, now you bring in fill, compacted fill, and then raise the level of the bottom of the amphitheater, provide that width. That's, I think, a very rational, logical way to do the basketball court.
Yeah, it seems to make sense. But I mean, you have to get heavy equipment in there. There's a lot. It
would be graded
behind
for sure.
this. Yeah. So, like I said, first we got the city council on board, and then map out the steps and the financing, because we're all for it. But this is a pretty big project.
It is. It is.
You know, we're being told we can't hardly afford playground equipment, so.
I understand.
And you notice
I'm
they
hearing
paved all
the conversations now.
Yeah, there's so much infrastructure, so we have to be realistic. We're all for it. We have been. You know, we're the ones, at least I was on this commission when we decided to repurpose the underutilized hockey rink.
Right.
So I've been on board since the beginning, and I'd love for there to be tournaments. You know, we haven't had any trouble from the pickleball people. You know, everything seems to be going smoothly. But like I said, and I appreciate this a lot, so this we could give to the city council so they get a visual. But they're going to have to figure out what they can accept finance-wise, what goals you have to meet in order to keep moving it forward. That's what we have to determine. What goals do we have to meet to keep moving it forward? Because there's a lot of surveys, there's permits, there's, you know,
I understand.
Who knows what they're gonna run into.
I've done this kind of work before. As an architect. I've been
Right.
You know, so
Architect.
I'm very familiar with all that. And I understand that.
Yeah, I mean, you look at this
But you
basketball
guys
court,
had
would
not
that be
even seen a
$500,000?
presentation yet at all. I mean, a graphic like this. So I'm here to
this
at
is
least
great.
present it initially to you.
Yes, I really appreciate it, because
Yeah.
it's a beautiful layout, and it makes total sense to lay it out that way. And these small amenities you're asking for are not unreasonable.
No.
You know, a shed, some shade, and some water. All parks should have that.
I'll jump in for a minute.
Okay.
You talked about that you collect $1 volunteer per game. Do you have any idea how much you collect per month or per year, or how that works? And that I assume you invest it back into the cleanup that you do now?
It doesn't go towards the cleanup. It goes towards the cost of resurfacing. All of us that clean the courts and take care of the courts do that just on a volunteer basis.
Okay. And then to resurface, how often do you resurface? Could you come to the mic, please?
I can answer it too. I thought it was about the same. The cost is about $1,000 a month.
Okay.
That's what we're able to get.
That's
But
what you're able to get. And then do you spend all of that?
We have money in the coffers now. I don't know the amount. I want to say it's been.
Would you introduce yourself, please?
Oh, I'm sorry. Rich Robb. I'm pickleball coordinator with the MBAA. We have around $30,000 set aside that is pickleball money.
And is that how much?
That is only used for resurfacing the courts or something if we need a new blower or something like that. All the labor is free. Yeah, they donate their time.
And how much does it cost to resurface each time?
Well, when I first got on board, it was $5,000, but now it's $30,000. Yeah, it's a huge jump. Yeah, it really is. But we do get bids from 3 different companies, and that was the best offer. I believe that's right on the $30,000.
And you think you have to do it how many?
Oh, I thought you signed it.
How often?
Well, we usually do it every couple of years,
Okay.
but this one didn't last near as long as the others. But usually it's about a 2-year process.
Didn't we have it
But
done?
the bottom line is,
Yeah, we
they're
just
not
had it done
asking
in
us for any
February,
money.
but-
Don't interrupt.
Okay, sorry.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, we just had it done in February, but normally
Yes.
it's about a 2-year process.
Okay. I'm just looking for
Yeah.
the ballpark here. And so that's something that you all take on for yourselves, you pay for yourselves, and you do that, but it's done through the seniors. Is that right, Mr. Carmichael? And so the city really has no obligations. They do it on their own.
No, that's not 100% correct. It's city property, therefore, the Public Works Department does get involved and deals with the bids, the management of the project, so there's some capital outlay from the city.
Okay. And so then the seniors, is the pickleball group separate from the seniors?
They are
Or the seniors sponsor them? How does that work?
They are the part of the seniors, yeah.
They are part of the seniors?
Yes.
Okay. And the seniors would also have their own money, but they probably don't contribute to the pickleball people?
I'm not exactly sure how their funding works.
Okay.
Yeah, those are separate funds. We have
Those are separate.
different funds for different things.
Okay. So if we want to build more pickleball courts, as much as we all want them, we know that we're servicing not just Morro Bay and not just our visitors, but people from outside the county who just float like you do from court to court just to get some variety, I assume, and meet other competition and that kind of thing. So it becomes, for me, it's not a moral decision, but it's a city decision, like whose responsibility is that? And to what degree does the city want to participate with that in terms of raising the money to help do additional courts? Or if that's something that you're so committed to, that you would form a 501c3 and raise the money and build it yourself
We already
on
have a
city property?
501c3. Morro Bay Seniors is already a 501c3.
Okay,
We would only have to do like a GoFundMe.
thing,
But,
okay, to raise the
A little
funds.
more about did you tell them about how you divided it up?
Of what?
How, the courts and the different venues for different costs?
No,
You can say that.
I don't think it's
Appropriate.
At this point.
Okay. But yeah, there are several ways that we have one person donated $1,000. I've had several people have verbally told me, I haven't seen
Yeah.
money, but they verbally told me they were going to give $5,000.
Yeah,
And so I don't think that the money is, it might be a pretty good chunk,
yeah,
but I don't think it's insurmountable because you mentioned that the variety of people. We have had people from all over the world come and play at Morro Bay, and they say that it's primo. They like it. They like it the best.
And
so
we're
we
talking
were-
about not just the court surface itself, but fencing that goes high around all 4 of the new courts, plus the little fences in between the courts.
Right.
So we're talking about fencing, surfacing, the little nice amenities, but then also the cost of the basketball court, because we're not willing to give that up.
Right. Well, as a former basketball player, I wouldn't want you to.
Thank you. Okay, those are my comments. Any commissioners?
Yeah, I had a question on this, on the basketball court. Have you looked at any other sites for that besides this?
Yes, we actually have. We thought the very first one that we thought of was over the top of the hill. If you're looking on this image again, over the top, if you're walking down the path that to the right, there was this big hill that's, if you're walking down the path towards the dog park, over the top of that is the volleyball space.
Yeah, but that's dedicated
They're
to
not,
volleyball.
which is, that was my first choice. I was thinking that would be a really great place. But it's also in a waterway. It's, and I've talked to, there's one of my pickleball players there saying that's not insurmountable because what the water jurisdiction would be looking for is they want to make sure that we're not inhibiting any water that, like in a flood situation, we're not slowing down the water to move further down towards the coast, and a basketball court would actually help it.
Well, I understand that property is designated for volleyball.
It is,
and
but
it's
that's
already-
true.
it was-
That's true, but it
grant
still
money
could
was
be,
used, so
I think there's space over there that both could happen. But I was just trying to stay away from Coastal Commission, which would be a part of that, Fish and Game, which would be part of that, and as someone noted before, it's like, we're talking about jurisdictions and stuff. Those are all just major headaches. And I think to make the process as easy as we possibly can, let's choose a place that we're going to avoid that. So that was, I think, my first goal, but I'm thinking, well, maybe this is not the best place for it. Also, too, I'd like to, as a part of a kind of a rebuttal, or not a rebuttal, but just another look at the basketball court. I wanted to kind of respond to a comment that was made earlier about the basketball and pickleballers doing this. I'm there every day. Unfortunately, I play 6 days a week, probably 4 hours a day. Way too much, I know. And the basketball guys, there's a lot of them over there. And we accommodate that with it. It's not like it's us and them at all. And we understand that if there's a basketball group on that court, we're off limits. Okay, it's only at the time when there's nobody there and it's jam-packed on the pickleball courts, and we have a couple of portable nets we can set outside to help eliminate some of the pressure. But so I'm just saying, I wanted to get that out there, is that I think that is a very thoughtful community, both sides, basketball and us, and it's a very positive thing. And I think as long as we keep the communication, I think is positive. But to answer your question about the basketball court, we looked at the volleyball spot. We actually looked at one time not putting the new courts where I'm showing them, but on taking one of the tennis courts, one of them, and putting them there. And then there's been many facilities around that have done that have changed. They're converting tennis courts into pickleball courts, and you can put 4 courts onto a single tennis court. You can do that.
But there's other issues.
There is, and I agree with, and I understand them. Also, there's really, I don't want to pinch on the tennis people. I don't,
Well, no, yeah, but
I don't want to do that, and so because we were thinking, well, let's leave the basketball courts there, and thinking about where else we can put the pickleball courts. But knowing that the basketball guys, I think putting at the amphitheater, they like exposure. it would be very convenient. Look on your image, right next to the parking lot.
I've used this park quite a bit.
Yeah.
Quite a bit, and I still,
They would
to
love
this
that.
day-
They would love to be able to walk right off the parking lot and jump right on their basketball court. They would love that. So anyways, I think it's a realistic, logical place for it. I think it can be done. All this is going to be expensive. It is going to be expensive.
So there's no alternative. You think that's the spot, right?
I think so. I think this is the most logical. We've batted this thing around left, right, and all around trying to figure out where the best place to put it. And I think it was said earlier too, the amphitheater is very rarely used. I've been there 5 years, and I've never seen anybody other than kids with bicycles and skateboards going using it in the hill. But I've never seen even used it for an amphitheater.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Commissioner Swall, do you have any questions or comments?
Well, I'm glad to see the amphitheater large enough. I thought discussion that the amphitheater was not large enough. Seems like a good spot to me.
'Cause-
Yeah. I don't know, it looks pretty neat.
Thank you.
Commissioner Fazio?
I'm a visual learner, so thank you for this. Very helpful.
Oh, good.
Also, I play a lot of pickleball, and you had me at separately fenced courts, because I know how important that is as a player and someone who has to stop a lot when things get hit over. So I think that's awesome. My one question is, you had mentioned that the current set of 4 courts on previously the hockey rink have to be resurfaced more often because of the hockey rink and things. Would we expect about the same frequency of resurfacing needed on the new courts, or would those possibly have more time in between resurfacing? We're not sure.
I would tell you I'd probably be conservative and say yes. I would say probably, I think the last time it was resurfaced was in February. I think we go maybe for a couple of more months, maybe 3 months or something like that. We've got some good holes already opening up, and we have a patch that, it's a concrete patch that we put on there to eliminate someone actually sticking their toe in it and hurting themselves or tripping or whatever. It's a little bit unsightly because when the courts are clean and when it's freshly surfaced, they're beautiful, and it just becomes a little more it just looks old, I guess, you know. So I would, to answer your question, probably every 8 months or something. It was in February, so it would be like October or something like that.
And we'd expect the same on the new set of courts with the new concrete pad and things.
That's a good question. I think a civil engineer would better answer that, because we could design these for pickleball courts and make sure the substructure is accommodating for, because it's the substructure underneath those courts right now that's doing its thing underneath that's causing some of the issues. I wasn't here when it was built, so I don't know the specifications of how the slab for the hockey rink was done. I don't know. All I do know is that it's probably not the best substrate for the pickleball courts right now. It seems to work, but it's got a higher maintenance factor.
But probably at worst about the same as the current ones and needing to be resurfaced somewhat frequently, and at best maybe less frequent.
I'm gonna say yes, and a conservative say about every 8 months or something like that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I would hope it would be better, but.
Yeah, I do as well. Thank you.
Do you have anything else?
Yeah, like I said, surrounded by the city council.
Okay. So, Mr. Carmichael, I think thank you very much. Let me see, is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak besides?
Chairman and council, I have been helping Rich with this project, and to alleviate some of your concerns, this would not go forward unless the seniors would have the money to do this, period. So what I would like to have happen tonight maybe is the commissioners here pushing this forward to the city council with that intent, so that we can, they can start raising money, because the city council has to approve this conceptual project first. So, rather than sit around, as you say, and talk about this, because we all are in favor, it's the cost factor and then we let them do their work, and then we go from there.
So are we concerned about the cost factor, or
No.
it doesn't matter because
No.
they'll be raising the money?
Exactly,
So whatever
yeah.
it costs is on them.
Exactly.
Okay,
That's what
thank you.
That's what I wanted to know.
Anyone on the Zoom, please, AGP?
There are no raised hands in the queue.
Thank you.
So are there any engineers that are on your pickleball thing? Because what you're going to have to do is figure out how many thousands of cubic feet of dirt have to be moved, the technical stuff and what that costs. We have to come to the city council and say, this is going to be a $500,000 project or $2 million project.
Right.
I mean,
I actually
couldn't
do. To
begin to
answer your
guess.
question, yes. In fact,
Yeah.
I do have an engineer right now as a construction manager that is
Okay.
in process of looking at it right now.
Great, yeah, because you have to rent excavators and steamrollers and concrete guys and.
All that
yeah,
stuff.
So it could,
Yeah.
yeah, so it would behoove us not to go to the city council and say, look, we had some professionals look at it, and we think at most it'll cost $1 million or less or whatever.
I think it probably as part of the presentation to city council, we'll have some numbers associated with this thing.
Because like I said, it's important to them because they have so many other projects in,
I understand.
they're dealing with. But this is a great presentation, and I'm glad you came because it helps us work through it to give a better presentation to city council. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, with that, perhaps we need a motion, but let's scope that motion on what it is we want to have happen. So we want it to go to city council.
So discussion first?
Oh, sorry, yes, I thought we please, go ahead. Yeah, we were interacting instead of discussing. Please, go ahead.
Well, I still have concerns with that basketball court there. That's kind of my,
The change of location?
yes, the change of location.
Is that just engineering questions or location questions?
Location question, I think.
Do you want to expand on that? It's just a gut feeling?
Yeah, just, it doesn't fit that area.
Well, that's what the engineering
there-
survey would be for, I believe. That's
We
why we
could-
need an engineer to survey it and say it'll work or it won't.
Well, it doesn't, well, as far as, I've used this park for many years.
Oh, me
We've
too.
done, we used to do 4th of July events there, and we've rented that for the horseshoes, and we've done all that. I use the dog park, I have a dog park, I go by there all the time. The pickleball people are great. It's a great, I'm not against this project. It's just, I'm not too happy with that, where that basketball court is. I think it infringes on that. It's gonna change the park. Because we had kids that run through there too, and it doesn't show it on here, but the play structures are in proximity to that. They're just off to the, would be to the north end of that, kind of the northeast end of this. I don't need comment, but we're.
Yeah,
that
comments
was-
closed.
That was just my concern.
If you look
I'm
at
not
the,
opposed to that.
If you look at the illustration, I think I showed it properly, is that on the small exhibit where it shows the basketball court, it will still have berms on either side. And so
I'm aware.
you won't see the basketball court even from the play structures. You won't even see it. It'll still be in a relative hole, a higher hole, a shallower hole, but it'll still be, you won't even see them. And even those hillsides are still going to be, could be used as an amphitheater as well, still. So you're going to have berms all the way around this thing that are still going to be part of the design.
I understand, thank you.
Thank you.
Marcus, can you tell me what is the size of the basketball court that you have here on the exhibit? Do you know offhand?
Graphic standards. I measured the existing court that's there now.
Okay.
I did,
Yeah.
and included also the area outside the court that would be necessary for, you just can't put a court,
Yeah.
And what I'm showing you there right now is the same width, including the supplemental space outside the court proper.
Thank you.
So, but I don't remember the exact size. I would have to go back to graphic standards and tell you.
Thank you, that helps. I appreciate
Sure.
what you put together here, too.
Thank you.
So Commissioner Costanzo, so you're saying you would prefer not to forward it to city council at this point?
No, I won't go that far. I think I would, because I'm in favor. That's just one aspect. I think
Okay,
that's
so we
gonna
would-
be- there's going to be pushback on that, I believe,
Okay.
from the community as well.
You think it impedes the use of the park because it's an
Yeah, I think
entrance
so.
like
It
that?
does impede on that. It's right next to the little bike trail.
Sidewalk?
Or the. So it was a concern. It's a
Okay,
concern.
well, and maybe
little-
we would list our concerns to the council.
Yes,
With regard
yes.
to that, okay?
Thank you, yes.
Yeah, okay. More discussion from anyone? So then we would, yes?
Well, it just seems like right now, what's needed is funds for this from the pickleball people.
Right. Well, first we have to figure out how much it's going to cost.
And they could get started. What's wrong with getting started? They know that they wanted this for a long time. Get started raising the money, and it will happen. Surely it will happen. You know, it's just there's too much interest for it not to.
If I may, I'm in favor of moving forward
Okay.
on this, if we want to.
So maybe our motion would be to move the concept of the pickleball and basketball courts, or, well, the pickleball courts and basketball, this conceptual plan forward to the city council. I think that's what Mr. LaFay is looking for. And with that, a caveat with regard to money, logistics in terms of the basketball court, and the fundraising we know will come from the group, and that we support this concept without the city investing any money in it. Is that accurate? And other than, I would guess at some point there will be staff time
City's making a
invested.
huge investment because of the property. I mean, that's their property, right? So there's their investment, but the actual court is how I'm looking at it.
Well, I would suggest that we invite the pickleball people back and that they bring their engineer, who might have a chance to give it a quick look, to give some sort of a ballpark price. Like I said, is this $1 million? Is it $3 million? We can't go to the city council and say, well, we're not sure how much it's going to cost, but will you support us? They're going to need more facts, I believe.
So we don't,
Some from an expert.
so money matters
Oh, yeah, money matters. Of
about
course it
whether
does.
they do it, but if they're not paying for it, why does it matter?
Because they have to see if they think it's going to be,
Reasonable?
if the pickleball people are going to be successful in raising that kind of money. There's going to have to be a timeline because permits expire and things happen. So they're going to require a certain amount of commitment up front and then a certain amount of commitment in stages, I'm sure. Otherwise, the project will fail. So we want to make sure it succeeds. So we just need to have as much information. And I think some ballpark cost. And then again, the city's going to have to pay to have those surveys done or permits pulled. I mean, I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah, whether
You
the
know,
city
are they
will,
going to find frogs out there? We're going to have environmental surveys. We got to figure out exactly what it entails so we come to them with a plan, you know, the soup to nuts deal, where they say, if you support us, these are the stages. And it makes logical sense that this will be a successful endeavor.
Okay,
We
so-
don't want to just say, oh, we want to do this and, you know, it's going to happen because we're going to will it to happen.
Okay.
We have to have a better plan than that.
so you would like to see it come back to Rec and Parks?
Yes.
One more
With an
time,
engineer that. had
with more
looked at it
information
and just-
before we send it on to council?
Yeah, I mean, do you feel that way? I mean, the better prepared we are and the more successful it looks like we can be, the more likely they're going to be to back us.
I would hope,
Yeah.
if I answer, I would hope that with the information you have in front of you right now, we could get it forward to the city council. We do understand that there's financial commitment, that there's fundraising, there's permits, all those things you mentioned, they're real. I deal in that life every day. And I don't know if I came up here and said, okay, it's going to be $1 million, how would that change your decision right now if you're not going to pay for it right now?
Yeah.
How would it matter? It would say, the idea, the concept is what I'm hoping that you could be looking at right now to forward it to
All
city
for it.
council.
Okay, well,
Well,
I'm all for
Mr.
forwarding.
Carmichael, are you okay with that, that we would forward it and we don't need more information at this point? We just support the concept and it belongs to city council? Or do you feel like we need to get more data?
I quite frankly don't know.
Well, it's not a recreation services deal.
But it is
It's
a
a physical,
but it is a recreational activity.
yeah, it is.
So what if we just forward this back to the city council, can always send it back and
Yeah.
say more information?
Well, you know,
So
we
just to
could
keep it
forward to them
moving.
and say, what do you need from us to move forward? How's that? We could put the whole thing in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Lefebvre, does that sound reasonable?
To the council, see what they say. This is the concept that they have. If they're
Yeah.
supportive of that, then they can move forward with fundraising. It keeps it rolling. I think during the process of the fundraising, we can do the semantics on what goes where and how much.
I'm
how much
hoping right now that if I can get the thumbs up with you folks right now that the concept is good enough to move to city council, I'm hoping, I'm going to go down and get a 36 by 42 board, plastic laminated, and put it up on the courts. And I'm going to say, go for it. There are people out there with discretionary income, and many of them have talked to us, but they don't go, well, where's it going to go? Just like you're saying, where's it going to go? What's the concept? If we have it there and they can see it, it will come.
Okay,
Well, I'm
thank
all
you.
for
And
more
I'm gonna,
courts.
I'm gonna close discussion, and I'm gonna close public comment.
Thank you.
Again. Thank you. And I'm going to then ask for a motion to just move the concept forward to city council. And
I move that we support this proposal and send it to the city council for review.
any feedback they would like to give us.
Correct. I'd second that motion.
Okay. Does that work? Okay. Should we say aye? All in favor say aye?
Aye.
Okay. Voice vote, unanimous. Thank you. Okay. Mermaids, pirates, and sea creatures. Thank you for your patience, staff.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be quick. We hosted our 18th year of our Mermaid, Sea Creature, and Pirate Parade on Saturday, May 17th. We co-hosted with Mark Tognazzini of Dockside. Festivities began at the parking lot. This year, our new addition was that we added a mini festival where we offered crafts, games, music, bubbles, photo opportunities, and we had a prize wheel. We also, each participant was able to get a goodie bag and spin the prize wheel and then enter into our participation raffle. We had about 150 children who participated, with about 200 adults and children. Marketing was extra big this year. We did all of our social media pages, reached out to all of our families who participate in our events, and we also had a couple advertisements in Estero Bay News, as well as our banner in City Park and Dockside, and Dockside 2 also had a banner. Our cost was down this year because we asked local businesses to donate different items, and so we had all of our taffy donated from Carousel Taffy, and we had shells donated from the shell shop, so we were able to add those into their the goodie bags, and then we had our 3 prizes for our participation raffle they were donated by Lost Isles, Smoobage, and Under the Sea Gallery. So cost was down for that because of that. And then my other recommendation is that we continue to add to the festival. It made the event a larger event than just a quick parade to Dockside. Here, the families were able to socialize and spend time together and make it more of a mid or morning afternoon event. So,
Do you have any idea how many people are local and how many are visitors that participate?
A few years ago, we did a survey where they were from, and based off of that, it was actually a majority of locals. And then because I've been here for so long and I do know so many of these families, I could say that most of them are, I'd say, 80% are locals, and that's, of course, from all of our Estero Bay areas. Yeah. So it is definitely a local event, and
that's great.
Yeah. Okay, that's all I have.
Thank you. Any question or comment? Okay, we're good to move on. Aquatics?
Thank you very much. Yeah, the Morro Bay Aquatic Center continues to be a great place to swim, to work, and to exercise. We have continuation of our lap swim and aqua aerobics, master swimming, swim lessons for January through May are not as big as when summer's happening, but we also have the Junior Guard Boot Camp program, which is just fantastic. It's kind of a big swimming lesson that's focused on physical fitness and honing technique for young swimmers, and we have incorporated a test out for the Junior Lifeguard program into the boot camp program. Katie does a great job, and the team of lifeguards. She trained me on my recertification recently, and happy to answer any questions that the commission may have about the pool programs.
Is this true that there's more participation this year than there was last year, and that you had to add a program, or am I making that up?
Are you talking about for the junior, for the boot camp?
Yeah. Is the boot camp not new because you had so much participation in regular junior lifeguards? This is a younger crowd, though, right?
They did add a younger age group to the boot camp session that's geared towards getting participants ready for the junior, like the Little Guards program, I guess.
Yeah.
Whereas our Junior Guards programs for 9 to 14-year-old. The Little Guards is for, I think, 5 to 8. Okay. So they did add a younger age group for the boot camp. Yes, that's correct.
Thank you.
Yes.
Anyone else? Okay, how about moving on to softball?
Just confirming this is Coast Girls softball. Okay, great. Yeah, had another great season of Coast Girls softball. We largely stayed the same as far as our participation, and hard to tell what the reasons may be for that, because we did increase participation at some of the older groups. So it was really the 6 and under teams that saw decrease in participation. I will say though that our 12 and under, we had 3 teams, which is the first time we've gotten to 12 and under, which means that to me, we're doing something right in that our players aren't getting burnt out of the sport and are continuing through an older age group. We had a partnership with San Luis Coastal Unified School District, where this year the 12 and under division got to play all of their games at the junior varsity field. So big thanks to Jim Schemmer and Vicky Schemmer, who are involved with the program at the high school in getting that ready for us, and what I consider to be the top 12 and under softball field in the county that our girls got to play on. So that was fantastic. This is the first full year since I've been here that we had the Coast Softball Advisory Board that was helping out with the program. And so I am very optimistic that our program's headed in the right direction. We formed 2 all-star teams again, one 10 and under and one 12 and under. And happy to report that our 12 and under qualified for the state games, and they will be playing in San Diego this weekend.
Wow.
Wow. As a cool summer, tournament play. So, that's basically it for softball. Happy to answer any questions that the commission may have about the program.
Seeing none, we'll move on, and we'll approve all the recommendations at the end. So adult softball?
This one's pretty run-of-the-mill. Same amount of teams as every season. We have 4 teams that play on Monday night at Lila Kaiser, and we have a good umpire. I kind of upped the rates for the staff pay rate for the program. So we had Dean, who is a new softball umpire for this season, and folks really seem to enjoy him. Happy to answer any questions the commission may have about the program.
Any questions about softball? All right, and the last one is social kickball.
Great. Yeah, another great second season of kickball here in Morro Bay. You guys saw that our team won the championships. We added a scorekeeper so that we could display the score on the scoreboard for all the teams, and I'm sure that, it was already competitive, but we added a increased spark for the competition of being able to see the score on the scoreboard. We used the World Kickball Association rules, and looking forward to continuing to grow this program and having it something that generates a little buzz as far as a new activity in Morro Bay. Yeah, want to try to probably increase the advertising before the next season. But other than that, it was a lot of fun, and happy to answer any questions the commission may have.
Seeing none, could I have a motion to approve the receive and file of items 8A through 8G?
So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner. Second?
I'll second it.
Drew, second it. All in favor, vote.
Aye.
Thank you.
Aye.
Voice vote. Okay, that brings us to future agenda items. I think we've got pickleball off our plate. That should help a little bit. Moving on to other items. We talked
We have
about,
that
go
with
ahead.
With the playground equipment thing?
Yeah,
That
but
coming?
maybe we need to go look at that. I would like to,
You want to put that back on the agenda?
mm-hmm.
I'm
Well,
thinking, or do you want to do the, maybe we can all go on our own and look at that.
well,
I want to look at the city park is what I'm,
you want to look at City Park?
yeah, and see how that could be utilized.
How would you like this brought back, Mr. Carmichael? We'd like to have a discussion on equipment, maybe recommendations to Mr. Public Works on what we think needs to be done and prioritize it even?
I just want to say, we had a garden where the bocce ball courts are, and it didn't work out real good. So I would lean more towards the dog park. But we can go in pairs, we just can't go more than two at a time. So, or we can go individually. Yeah.
So
you
your
just make-
question was specifically regarding the city park playground area?
Actually, all of the equipment and City Park. But City Park, I think, could be one issue. Could that be one agenda item? And then play equipment a second one, repairs? We'd like to send a list of repairs to Public Works.
Okay, so I'm hearing, excuse me, use of city park playground area as one item, and then the second item is a review of the, all park amenities?
Equipment.
All- So that would
Play
include.
equipment, we should say.
You want
Just
to
playground, or did you-
limit it
All
to,
amenities, let's check the restrooms, let's look at everything.
Restrooms and benches.
oh, like the benches were mentioned?
Yeah, no, that's good, that's good. Yeah,
So it's a review of all parks in the city and the amenities provided within, something like that.
Yeah, and the commissioners will take it upon themselves to diligence and go look at it.
Yeah, no work by anybody else.
including Centennial, that Centennial Park, is that?
If you want,
Oh, no, I'm asking.
it's a park. That's big enough. Y'all can make your lists and we can haggle over it.
And let me be clear then, the intent of this is to report to our maintenance team what the needs are, what
Yes,
maintenance needs are?
yeah, what we perceive as, go ahead.
Oh, and to prioritize what little new playground equipment we can afford should go, correct?
Yeah, I'm concerned that the excess money from the play equipment has gone into the general fund and may not be used for play equipment.
I thought he said that money is available, the 250,000 was still available.
GL account 250.
Yeah.
But he's going to use up,
They just did an accounting trick to get it to pan out. Yeah, because it was grant money.
The way I understood it, they had $250,000. He said it's approximately 150 to 200,000. Therefore, it'll be either 100 or 50,000 remaining, and that's what you'd like to discuss, how to use that $50,000 to $100,000.
love the way you said that.
Okay. Is that going to be a third agenda item?
Is that what you're looking for? A third agenda item, that's separate from repairs?
Yes. Yeah, maintenance is one thing and purchasing's another.
Okay.
So if I could have you, Madam Chair, then go ahead and read back to me what you're looking for.
in terms of the third item?
All three.
All three?
Yes.
So the first item is just, I've already forgotten.
Use of city park
City Park.
playground area.
City Park.
City Park, the play area in City Park.
Okay.
That would be number one. Number two would be just maintenance, what these commissioners perceive as necessary maintenance and prioritized.
Or just an assessment of the,
We'll bring our lists. And three would be the use of the excess money from just fielding one play equipment instead of three. Because we had fielded three. And so whatever that balance is, would like to have input into.
And right now, that equipment is just for Lila Kaiser, is
Yes.
what I understood him to say.
Yes.
Okay. And that would take the, maybe to $200,000.
Or less. We'll see.
Okay.
I've got them, thank you.
Thank you.
And we've got a majority agreeing on each one of these items? Need 3 out of 5.
Yes.
do.
Do we
Yes.
have
Yes.
hands raised? Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, I guess that's it. And we don't meet again until September? There's no reason to meet in August,
That's correct. September's our next regularly scheduled meeting.
which would be the third Thursday
That's correct. I believe that's September 18.
in this room at 6 o'clock.
That's it.
And I would still again like to propose we take a parks tour, add an extra meeting at some point.
Oh, thank you for saying that. Can I just take 2 extra minutes? I know everybody's tired. So I took it upon myself to talk to Ms. Burlingame with the city regarding the trolley and how that works. And she said that the way it is currently, that the city can have 7 uses of the trolley per year. And that all of those are basically committed to children's activities, which really, because there was no way, they didn't anticipate that or prioritize or make a list on how to prioritize those items. And so I was concerned because the waterfront master plan, I think those commissioners should be taking a tour on the trolley. And that they don't get to because children's activities and the winter activities are consuming all 7 of those trips. I don't know if there's a way to negotiate and get one of those trips reduced, like have the fire engine do the Santa in the winter instead of the trolley, and therefore free that up for the Waterfront Master Plan Committee, or free it up for us. So I don't know if there's some way to negotiate, because it's my understanding that you've used up 5 out of the 7, and so we may not get to do that till next year. But Ms. Gerling, just to finish up, Burlingame said that she's renegotiating with them for next year, but she would also ask if there was a way to slip in an extra one this year. And that's my report.
Thank you.
if I may comment on that, the Waterfront Master Plan Committee is not going to take the trolley.
I think they should.
Well, I don't think there's time for that. I don't think, we're not going to tour, I mean, it's not, I don't think it would be feasible.
Okay,
We-
this
we
is
talked
probably
about
not a rec and park discussion?
Yes, no. Well, it is if you want to use the trolley. I don't think.
Well, I don't know that- yeah,
To
but
say
even-
that the waterman isn't going to use that, I
Okay.
think that's not
Well,
feasible.
Well, I think, and again, the trolley is really probably not a rec and park discussion. Right. But I did want to bring it up that it's been dominated by Rec and Parks Commission, the use.
Dominated by Recreation Services teams.
Yeah, well, I'm all for that. I'd give up the trolley ride for
And the
kids.
children.
Yeah,
And
the children.
the 90 children who are at camp.
Yeah,
Who
all right.
are going to swim lessons and coming to participate and sing at the carols at the tree lighting. And all of the children who attend our trick or treat event. Those are all for these kids, so.
And I think this was something that will be incorporated into next year's budget with RTA, because it wasn't forethought about how much
And that is
services you
100%
said.
true. I have been in talks with Mrs. Burlingame, and we are figuring out a plan and how we can do that. And I will let you know that I did reduce a lot of my trips and ended up renting out the school buses to support that, or to
Yeah.
allow for all the trips to be taken, so.
Yeah, I think it kind of brought us up short. We didn't recognize that this was going to be an issue or whatever. So it's good that it's happening now, so we're ready for it, next negotiation with RTA.
I can fit 4 people in our recreation truck.
Could we put a sidecar on your motorcycle?
Hey,
Okay,
so
Yeah, I'm happy to drive, and I can take 4 additional people in my car if we want to take it. It's a hybrid, gets great gas mileage.
so are you agendizing that in a serious form?
Not if we don't have transportation, unless we'd all like to meet at a park for a meeting on our own, which would be okay.
Yeah, we would just need to have to figure that out. If we
Next
want,
meeting, we'll,
yeah, figure it.
I think we can go individually in the meantime.
yeah.
Schedules allow.
Yeah. Okay, let's end this thing.
thank you all.
Meeting adjourned.
All right, thank you, everybody.